Crack cocaine will make you feel like $1 million for 3 hours. But crystal meth will make you feel like $1 million for 3 whole days. This is what I overheard a young man telling a security guard at the Health Sciences Center. And he was right. In a recent lecture put on by the WRHA, we learned about pleasure receptors in the brain. To give us an idea of what crystal meth does to your brain, they used a pleasure scale. And on that scale, they gave 50 points to a cheeseburger. Sex got 100. Crack cocaine, 250. But crystal meth, wait for it, 1,100 points. A level of pleasure that human beings were never meant to experience. Now imagine having no home, having to carry everything you own on your back, not being able to clean yourself, being looked down on, always being told to move on. Then you have a chance to feel like $1 million for 3 days, and it costs less than you would pay for a bus ticket. I work at West Broadway Community Ministry. We're a drop-in that serves lunch, offers showers, laundry facilities, washrooms, and phones. The people who use our services are residents of Winnipeg who rely on social assistance. Some are on disability, some are seniors on a fixed income, some don't receive benefits of any kind and just eke out an existence on the streets. Some have no place to call home. There's a group of homeless Manitobans who drag all their stuff in with them to the area at the back of our drop-in. They hang around, they sleep, they sometimes fight. They spend time unpacking and repacking all their stuff while they're there. Wires that they scrape down for the copper, chains, makeup, jewelry, children's toys, various packages of food. There are electronics, broken things, stuff they haul out of the garbage, and I'm guessing a fair amount of stolen goods as well. They survive by scavenging and selling stuff. When they leave the drop-in, they often leave a big mess behind. Closing time is a time of tension because we close up at 3 o'clock and our volunteers want to go home, but they have to stay until everyone is out. We've had people refuse to leave, and we've had to call the police. Some of these Canadian citizens who are at the back of the drop-in are right out of it, and they talk to the air. Others sit and have normal conversations. Some are sleeping or passed out. Some are sick or in pain. Others are agitated and wary. Many are unable to act on behalf of themselves, except for the occasional outburst of anger. They remind me of fallen leaves in the wind. There's a lot of shame and despair covered with a thin veneer of bravado. No one back there feels like $1 million. Let me introduce you to one of them without using his real name. Now, Dallas is somebody that you don't want to meet. He is scrawny, disheveled, and angry looking. I have never seen him smile. He woke up one winter afternoon to find that his boots had been stolen. With a torrent of F-bombs and threats to the person he thought was responsible, Dallas turned over the tables at the back of the drop-in. If you ever want to express anger and make a lasting impression, turning over the tables is the way to go. It worked for Jesus. But somehow when I've read this story in the Bible, I hadn't quite imagined it like this. I don't think I'll ever read it the same way again. Dallas was banned from the drop-in for the next 2 weeks. He came back quite contrite and apologetic. He explained to me how upset he was to wake up when it was -30 outside and to find his boots gone. It's the first apology that I've ever heard that had more F words in it than sorries. He said he wouldn't do it again. A month or so later, Dallas had another outburst. It was about 15 minutes from closing time, and he was very slowly packing his stuff to get ready to go. One of our church volunteers approached him and offered to help. Well, you can just imagine, he laced into her like nobody's business. When I came to her defense, I got a similar blast. So we all just stood back and watched and waited until he left. Safety first. So here's my struggle. Our brothers and sisters who sleep at the back are not very popular with anybody. Not with our volunteers, not with the church property committee, not even with the other guests who come to eat lunch. Some of them have stopped coming because they don't feel safe. So I've been arguing with God over this. I've been agonizing over the parable of the lost sheep. Do I choose the one, nasty one at the back, or the 99? What is practical? What is faithful? And I've been trying to see Jesus in my sisters and brothers who are the least of these at the back of the drop-in. And I have felt like I am witnessing crucifixion on a daily basis. And I've been asking God to forgive us, our city, our province, our country, because we don't know what we are doing to our very own. And I worry that we're going to lose all our volunteers or that something bad will happen. It's very easy to blame the people who are shouting and swearing and turning over the tables. They're used to getting blamed. When Dallas showed up the day after his outburst, I went back to talk with him. He looked at me and he said, I know, I'm leaving. No, tell me what happened. He then explained to me how humiliating it was to be sleeping back there in the first place, but then to have people coming and bugging him every 5 minutes, reminding him that he had to leave, just made it worse. Aha. It's not the fact that he had to leave that was the problem. It was how we were doing it. From that day on, we assigned one person only to the back. He or she gives a gentle reminder to people sleeping about half an hour before we close. Another wake up 15 minutes later if you're still sleeping. We no longer expect to leave at 3 o'clock and beat the rush hour to get back home to our privileged lives. We assume we will be there until 3:30 to give our brothers and sisters time to gather themselves, to go out and face another night of being shuffled from one place to another. It's not easy to walk a mile in someone else's shoes, but any of us can take the time to be kind, to listen, and to try to imagine ourselves in that place. We can't make everyone feel like $1 million, but we can offer a place of welcome, something to eat, something to drink, and a bit of respite from the world.